Oh, what's going on, guys? Hope you guys had a great trading day out there. I forgot to go live on Instagram really quick. A lot of volatility today, a lot of opportunity, but that's the way trading goes. You know what I mean? You have ups and its downs, and we're live on Instagram now. And gosh, sometimes I hate setting up the stream. I'll tell you. There we go. All right. So yeah, a lot of volatility today. Today was either going to be a big green day or a big red day, to be honest. And today was a big red day. We were floating towards the end of the day, up about 150, and then then IMTE failed, and IPW never ran, and the rest was history. So again, guys, hope you guys have been trading well. I know there's been a lot of opportunities, but when there's a lot of opportunities, there's also a lot of downside opportunity as well. So it's our job to figure out how we're going to be on the right side of every move, right? And you're not going to be on the right side of every move, but the goal is to try and be on the right side of as many moves as you can, and that's built in your plan, your process, and your strategy. So okay, so I am live going over today's trade day down. All right, there's that. Okay. Small caps. We're gonna go here as well. All right, guys, now we're going to set up on social media here. So like I said, guys, down quite a bit today. But again, I'm not too mad about today because I want to go over kind of my conviction and what I was trading and why I was trading with so much size, et cetera, right? So just give me a second here. I'm going to set everything up, and then we'll be ready to go. All right. Let's post that there. I'm live. Okay, perfect. Again, hopefully you guys had a great trading day out there. Hopefully you guys have been trading well. As I said, there's been a lot of opportunities. But like I said, when there's a lot of opportunities, there's also a lot of downside opportunity as well. And what do I mean by a lot of opportunities? Well, it basically just means that there's a lot of volatility at the end of the day. When there's a lot of volatility, there's a lot of opportunity. We'll do MTSL, that's fine. And what was the last one? Let's see here. We can do NAKD, that's fine. Okay, there's that. Alright, guys, posted there. Alright, cool. So hope you guys had a great trading day out there. Like I said, today was a down day. We're going to say minus 262K. Alright, cool. There is that for you guys. Oops. I don't know why it's not even there. Alright. So, you guys can see all my trades here. Let's go basically over, CRV, again, I've had bad luck with this name, trying to long the damn thing, and it never seems to work out. I tried to long it, and again, that was a backside. Now we're making another move after hours. So, and we're making a lot of up and down kind of moves right now. And that's just the way the market we're in is reacting. Like I said, it's very volatile. I lost 60K alone on that name. Then, CGOC, I ended up longing perfectly this name. I ended up longing this thing, CGOC, at 412.5, 36,000 shares. So basically, right down in here on this candle, I started longing it, and then I literally got up, and I got up, and then all of a sudden I was, it halted on me, and I came back, and I was up 64K, and I'm like, holy crap. So I sold right out of the hole, because I was like, dang, that was a quick little profit there. And then I tried to short it. And that's where I made my problem. Now, it could have been worse because I tried to get more shares on CGOC or SGOC. And this name just went straight up. And in my mind, one of my top watches, like I was explaining to you guys, was, we've seen MRIN. It failed now. NEGG, it failed, right? Yesterday we had CARV and COHN, right? They all failed. Look at the big moves to the downside, right? So I'm thinking, okay, everybody seems to move to low float. And then today my number one watch was a stock that moved 250 to 300%. I wanted to start shorting, and I wanted to fade that off into the close. And that was my number one watch today. Okay, so CGOC comes on my radar, and I'm like, wow. I nailed it long. Now I'm like, this thing's up 200+%, and I'm going to try and short this thing, right? Well, it was super hard to get shares to borrow. And at the end of the day, I tried to get shares, but it was extremely hard for me to try and find them. Now, with that being said, I ended up with like an 855 average. So I was actually pretty happy with that average. And this thing, it holds down. I'm holding through this, and it holds down, and we open up at like $6. The first two, like it was supposed to unhold at like, I don't know, every 5 minutes it's supposedly, unhold, right? And so, it didn't unhold, and then after like 20 minutes, it finally unholds, and I changed my mind from covering to holding my short, and then going to try and reshort and watch this thing, and the goal was all day, even into yesterday, was to fade it into the close, okay? Well, we didn't get that at all. This thing squeezed up to 1880, and I end up covering at 1686, like right somewhere in here, I can't remember. And I just was down too much. My plan was to fade this off, and sure, if I would have held it, would have been basically break even. But when it was up this high, I was like, you know what? This thing's now over 400, 500, 600% on a lot of liquidity. If this thing keeps going, I don't want to be stuck in it, right? So I thought maybe we get this thing stuck and it keep going, and I'm like, all right, I just want to get out of this thing. And then it was up so high to where I felt like there was going to be some solid sympathy moves behind it. All right. And so I felt like it was up high enough to where we get some solid sympathy moves behind it. So I tried to play CLWT. And of course, straight up, straight down. I watched being up a ton to being down a ton, right? My average on CLWT was like 432, which is right in here. I was up a solid amount, and then this thing just dumped, right? And I'm like, okay, well, that's not a semi play. And I still want everyone to keep IMT on the radar. I have to shout out, I think it was, Flash or something. And I'm always open to like new semi play ideas and new opportunities that I didn't see. And this one was textbook to me. Like I thought for sure, and I still kind of do. If CGOC goes, I still think this is going to be the number one semi play. It's a VR play, right? Let's see here. It's a VR play. It's a former runner. We remember the IMT. It's a former runner for sure. You can remember this name, right? Not only that, but it's in the same price range of where CGOC started. It's in the same sector. It's also in Hong Kong. And all those things combined, out of all the semi plays I've ever seen, right? I don't think I've ever seen something so identical, at least from what I've been able to find, than this. And this one, it looked identical, right? It looked like it was literally identical. Like this thing could like make a move up to 5s, to 6s, to 7s, and it wouldn't shock me at all. So I thought, okay, well maybe IMTE. Nope. I took another $29,000 loser. Between those two, I took $60,000 in losses. And it was because I sized myself so big, because I really did think we would get a 6, a 7, maybe an $8 move, right? Because anything over 300%, you generally start to get a 70 play. Anything over 600%, which is what we tapped on, SGOC, that is when I was like, okay, I think there could be maybe a 50, 100% mover, right? And I really thought IMT, even though MTSL was the first one that actually ripped and ran, which is still going after hours, look at that opportunity. Goes up, goes down, and then back up through highs, right? even though IMTE to me is way more identical to CGOC or SGOC than MTSL, it ran first and it took momentum and it got on the scanners, and now it's ripping and ramping after hours, right? So, that's trading, guys. At the end of the day, that's trading. And I still think that IMTE is one of the most identical simile plays I have ever seen in my trading career when it comes to trying to compare, simile plays to simile plays, right? Or simile plays to lead runners. This one, to me was, I can only probably count on one hand the amount of times where there's been a simile play that identical to SGOC, right? So, I took a loss. I'm not mad about the loss, but, I was up big on it. I was probably up, $200,000 on it. And ended up, when it goes like this, I'm just like, I don't know if I want to hold that into the close. I'd rather just come into Monday. And at least my account's over $1 million at the end of the day. So, I wanted to keep it above $1 million even with this loss. And that's that. So, anyways, guys, trading was frustrating day today, not going to lie. But at the end of the day, I'm not too disappointed with the way I traded. Moral of today was a little too much size, a little too much conviction on SGOC. I took a $142,000 loser on the short side. And, my plan was to fade that in the close. Couldn't believe the move it made. I was not expecting that even kind of. IPW was another one that I've been swinging multi-day and just failed on us. NEGG didn't quite run far enough for this one to go, I don't think. But still watching that one. MTSL on the scanner. It seems to be, tapping highs here. Might break highs here in a second. But anyways, guys, that's the way it goes. At the end of the day, simile plays look like shit until they don't, right? So, Diego Bull, you said in an interview you stopped playing junk and stock 3 plays. I was wondering. All right, guys. Yeah, the Flash 1981, I think it was. Yeah. Diego Bull, what's going on? Mr. Sam, what's going on? So, anyways, guys, I know that it's a big, bright red day. I'm not too disappointed with today's red day, though. I traded pretty much like I wanted to. I traded the stocks that I wanted to pretty much. Sure, I could have downsized, but basically the way I traded today was pretty much properly on the way that I wanted to trade. If I was going to trade any differently, maybe I'd take less size and maybe I try not to force things on the short side, or you know what I mean. But overall, I traded it pretty much the way I wanted to today. It just didn't pan out. And very easily could have been a big green day. Very easily could have been. But at the end of the day, trading is not easy. Trading is every day. Trading is nonstop. Trading is constantly evolving and learning and making sure that you are consistently building your plan, your process, and your strategy, but also evolving your plan, your process, and your strategy. You can't just have one plan, process, and strategy and stick to that. You have to continuously evolve with the market. If you don't, then sometimes you're going to get beaten, sometimes you won't. It's always about evolving with the market. Okay, guys, so that's basically it. At the end of the day, hopefully you guys had a green day out there. Hopefully you guys have been trading well. I know that, this week was quite a few opportunities. I had like a 7 green day in a row streak. Was up, I think, about $1 million in those 7 straight green days. But today was a bright red day. We'll be back on Monday to take advantage of the market. Going to downsize, going to make sure I take trades properly. And I will see you guys on Monday. Okay? Please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate that, guys. It always helps out the NorMagnoTrading.com community. Subscribe. I'm not a financial advisor. Trade at your own risk. Have a plan, a process, and a strategy. Check out the links in the description below. I'll see you guys on Monday. Cheers, team, and go in.